War. War never changes. And it definitely has affected the Astrea family because they are literally a family full of victims, not only in the physical sense of actual victims in war and on the battlefield, but thanks to battle, war, and sword fighting through the Sword Saint, this whole family is just devastated. I mean, this episode was so good, so sad, and just so well done in portraying how each member of the family, both living and dead, have been just so hurt by something as little as a blessing from the Sword Saint. I mean, going back from Teresa's past when she says she's 12 years old and gets the power of the Sword Saint, she didn't even want it. She was not even really, wanting to do battle, fighting, or anything like that. Her brothers, who were really training for it, and God bless her older brother, who even stated that, at first he was a little frustrated, but he still was an older brother in the end. He didn't hold it against her. It's like, you know what? You're the Sword Saint, but I'm still your older brother. Man, that hit so hard. I was like, Lord, because I see way too much anime and way too much about, because, oh no, you got the blessing, I hate you now forever. Which honestly is even in this anime, as we see Heinkel being jealous of his own son. Just think of that. Because of the previous war and the passed down abilities, Heinkel, which we learn loves his mother so much that he blames his own son from getting her power when he was a child. And it wasn't like it was his act alone. It wasn't like he just sat there and was like, hey, I want the power now, and knew that she was out at war. He's just a child, and it just came down to him. And then he's also jealous that he doesn't have the power. Like, it skipped him. Imagine growing up knowing that your mother is the Sword Saint, got it when she was 12, and your father, who's so good, amazing at sword fighting, that he beat his mother, the Sword Saint, in an actual duel, and he gets nothing. He gets absolutely nothing out of any of it. So yeah, I can understand where Heinkel is like mad at the world. Like, instead of rising above it, like, seeing your lot in life and being like, you know what, let me try to, hey, I don't have the abilities of Sword Saint. Your father didn't have the abilities of the Sword Saint, but he beat your mom. So, try to rise above it. No, I'm just going to hold it against everyone. I'm going to hold it against my own son getting the power, and I didn't get the power. Like, how trash are you? But that's just one aspect of the family. Like, the biggest thing is the fact that Teresa herself and Wilhelm, they have such a great love story that it definitely saddened me to see what was going down. So you see Wilhelm, that he was definitely saddened by the fact that he had to fight his own wife, if you will. Now, it seemed to me that the Witches Cult, when they reanimated Teresa, they probably made her into the best form possible, because it definitely looked like she was a younger version of herself than we saw in the backstory. So I was like, okay, this is probably when she's at her peak, if you will. But Wilhelm, even through the injuries that he was having, and as old as he is, he was still getting it. It was like, okay, if it wasn't for his stupid son, Heinkel would be like, Dad, what are you doing? Don't you see him in the middle of a sword fight? It doesn't matter who he's against. Even if he's against your mom that's come back, just shut up and let him concentrate. But no, Heinkel's just so garbage. But their love story, how he's not able to really say, I love you, until this moment, so anime. But like she said, I know you love me through the actions that you've done. Yeah, you have children. I just gotta put this out there. Seeing Wilhelm age, he aged like fine wine. Like, he had the anime young looking side of him, and then he grows up and his face gets all chiseled. Here's his young side. Here's his Giga Chad side just manifesting as he's getting older and older. And I'm like, Well, dang, man. His face like just chisels out. Man. But Teresa herself actually looked pretty nice as she's getting older. Even William's like, yeah, you're almost 50 now. And she's like, shut it. She's like, I'm still going out there. And from the way they were talking, it sounded like Heinkel was hot garbage even when he was younger. But the family dynamic is just so bad. I feel so bad because the biggest victim out of their whole family is actually Reinhard. Reinhard just existed. He was just born into this family. And as OP as he is, and we've even stated before that his family dynamic is his weakness, that everyone hates him just because he's alive, just because the power of the Sword Saint comes down. And yes, as Willem said, oh yeah, the power of the Sword Saint is only in name. Yeah, when you're so OP that you defeated the Sword Saint, I could probably see that. But you gotta remember, Teresa got the power of the Sword Saint and she wasn't even really training. She didn't even really do anything when she was 12. It would be different if it was like the older brother got it when he was already training. But she was so OP without really doing anything that we have Reinhard here has the power of the Sword Saint and he's OP personified. And like we talked about previously, that he truthfully could be the main character of this anime if they centered around him only. They could literally make a separate anime like ReZero the Reinhardt years or something like that, that's centered only around Reinhardt, and they could easily make whatever they want. OP character anime, harem anime, I mean, just name a topic, they could just apply it to Reinhardt, and it's like, and make Subaru the side character. That could easily be done, easily. But of course, we have it the other way around. We have Subaru that's the main character, and Reinhardt's the side character, if you will. It just pains me to see the torment that someone like Reinhardt, as strong as he is, that people hate him for different reasons. Wilhelm hates him for the power going from his wife going to his grandchild. So of course, he's pained by the fact that his wife has died in battle. He takes it out on his grandchild. And then of course, Reinhardt's father does the same thing. So Reinhardt is just like doing the best he can with the life that he's given. And of course, being there for his friends, but his own family just hates him. And he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I can for my kingdom because apparently my family doesn't want me. This battle is definitely gonna make a wedge between Reinhardt and Wilhelm because we were so close to them coming together at the beginning of the season after they kind of had some chance to talk and such. But now that Reinhardt officially killed his grandmother, if you will, and while Wilhelm was like, no, don't do it, he's just going to see that as an act and be like, well, grandson, we have nothing more to talk about. And it's just, I cannot believe that they just go off and be like, are you okay for killing your grandmother? It wasn't like he had a choice. Now, if I'm missing something, like, you know, if there's some ReZero After Hours or some other thing where it showed where Reinhardt as 5 when he inherited the power did something or like manifested, called it forth, you know, if that happened, I mean, he's still like young and 5. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like it was his fault. But what they don't even realize is the fact that Teresa didn't even die to the whale. She actually died to the hands of Pandora, which of course, Pandora, if you remember, was in the past when we saw about Amelia when she was younger. Teresa didn't even die by the whale, but of course no one's gonna know about that. But regardless, she still didn't have her Sword Saint powers anymore. She couldn't even wield the sword, which I gotta say, that sword, the sword alone has aura, okay? When Reinhard actually pulled out the sword and then just everything around was like, oh my God. Like the whole city, the walls are shaking, the glass is like creaking. It's like, oh, dang. I guess the sword is like, I guess the previous sword saying it's a worthy opponent. This whole family is just messed up. And if anything, I feel so bad for Reinhard for being born into this family. Granted, the consolation prize is pretty nice, being the most OP character in the show, but the fact that you can't even really confide or be with your own family due to them hating you for something that you had no control over, it sucks to be Reinhard right now, kinda. I will have to say, amazing episode, great episode, just to learn about Teresa, learn more about their family dynamic and everything that she went through, like seeing her brothers die. Her brothers were all trying to protect her and be like, you know what, you don't have to fight. And so she tried not to fight, but then sees her own family die because of her inaction. That has to be rough. Thankfully, she was able to be strong-willed enough to find someone like Wilhelm, to find love, if you will, and to start her family the way that she did. Great episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe, because if you haven't already, hey, hit that bell icon to be notified when more videos come out, because great episodes like this, we definitely have to sit back and discuss it because it was just so good. We only got about 2 more episodes left to ReZero before the end of the season, so hopefully we do see some more fighting, some more things popping off in these last few episodes before, who knows when we get another season of ReZero. But otherwise, let's enjoy it while we can. You guys be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.